Hi guys, it's reaction time. We've got Invincia and Acts of Insurrection. So below the video, this is a new melodic heavy power metal song by Finnish band Invincia, inspired by great artists such as, you ready for these? Judas Priest, Sabotage, Halloween and Dio. Man, let's hope so. This is the second song from the EP The Enemy Within. Release date is the 6th of June. In this band is Kenneth Nyland on the vocals, Joel Coulson on the guitar, Alexander Sodergaard on the guitar, Jonas Oman on the bass, and Mikhail Aniholm on the drums, and mixed and mastered by, you guessed it, Eric Meinson. So yeah, looking forward to hearing this. Joel Coulson also wrote this song, who is the guitarist. It's produced by the band, but mixed and mastered, like I said, by Eric Meinson. So without further ado, can't wait to hear this song. Here we go. We're about halfway through, guys, so I don't know, this has got that sort of painkiller feel to me, so I'm sort of expecting a big solo, so that's why I stopped it. I didn't want to cut halfway through, but man, yeah, I mean, let's talk about the sound of the song first of all, because obviously Eric Martinson's producing this, and the good thing about Eric Martinson, he doesn't just produce melodic rock, melodic hard rock and AOR, you know, he dives into, you know, heavier stuff like thrash, Man Machine Industry being a good example of mixing for Man Machine Industry. And here on a sort of almost heavy metal, power metal type song, sounds brilliant. Just makes the most out of every band. And what a band as well. What a song. Yeah, love the riff. It's very Judas Priest-esque to me. This song really does give me that Judas Priest feel more than any of those inspirations that they said they've got. That riff, definitely a bit of Judas Priest. This could have been off a classic Judas Priest album. What I really look for as well in these sort of bands is it's more, because they said they're in this sort of power, they said themselves as sort of like a, heavy power metal band. I love the darker side of power metal, and this is what this is. There's no sing along sort of stuff going on here. It's not, you know, all happy power metal. I just don't like that stuff. So this really hones in on what I love, more straightforward metal, you know. And it definitely, with that Judas Priest, it's got that feel to it for sure. It's heavy, it's technical, it sounds brilliant. It's another band that are great. It is another band that are great, and I'm really looking forward to a solo. Everyone on this song is just amazing musicians. That goes without saying. It sounds so intricate, the whole song, but really can't wait for the solo. Here we go.
This is our moment, this is where it all begins. A rude awakening, now reality sets in. See them tremble as we charge into the fray. We're making history upon this very day. Though our hearts may be broken, our spirit is stronger than ever before.
Mental. It's just mental. I was expecting the solo earlier on, but man, when it came, it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. But man, the speed in some of that, you hear them working down the bottom of the neck and up the guitar. It's like, fucking hell, man. Great song, really in the vein of sort of, you know, classic Priest. But man, one thing I always missed about Judas Priest, especially like earlier material, was I was never keen on the sound of their albums. I love the sound of their albums now, their newer albums, by the way. But back in the day, I suppose I've always been one of these, you know, does it sound good? Not just, you know, the songs, and which is very important, by the way, and obviously, you know, the performance of the band. I always honed in on albums that sounded good as well, even back when I was younger. And Judas Priest albums for me always, don't know, there was something about them that I didn't like the sound of. The production, I mean, the mix and the mastering. Not the mastering, but so much the mix and the production. And that sort of gave you that feel, you know, that is the sort of how they would have sounded. That's more like a Priest sound now. You know, the sound of that. And it just makes the most of all that intricate playing that you can hear from this brilliant band, man. They sound fantastic. So big shout out to Joel Carlson and Alexandra Soldegard for that guitar playing. Well, big shout out to all of them. There's a great double kick there. work from Mikkel and Home on the drums, some brilliant bass work by Jonas Oman, and some brilliant vocals by Kenneth Nyland. Got this sort of grit to his vocals, very cool, just perfect for this metal. Brilliant stuff. That was Invincia, Acts of Insurrection. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below, guys. And I'll see you soon.